Okay, fellow shopkeepers and do-it-yourselfers out there in YouTube land. Working on this 2014 F250 with a 6.2 liter, putting spark plugs in it. Got 142,000 miles on it, and a couple of the extension boots broke coming out. Well, they were all on the driver's side. I don't know that had necessarily any bearing on it. But anyway, see if I can find one. Yeah. And that made it a job to get down in there, because you got to get that piece out off the spark plug so you can get your spark plug socket down in there. But anyway, I used this long pick and got down in there, and I managed to get it out, but it wasn't fun. But anyway, the problem is I got these spark plugs, plug wires rather, and the extension boots, and they come like this, and I'm like, what is that little black thing there? And well, after some investigating, it goes down inside there. So I kind of took a pick. Well, it's not a pick, it's a little screwdriver, and I was kind of gently poking around in there, and it got a lot of carbon. I'd tap on it and get a lot of carbon coming out of there. And there was one of the pieces that came out. This one came out of one without any pick action, and there wasn't any corrosion in there. But anyway, some of these I'm gonna have to replace the coil, because I don't think you can see it, but those, like, we'll call them splines. Those splines go all the way to the bottom, and these set straight up between those splines. And those splines, that corrosion and the spark has burnt those splines off, and if I put this down in there, it lays down. And I don't believe that this would touch. I don't believe it would make a contact. But anyway, when you get a set of these and you see what's going on with it, that one's still in there. I'll try to get the light where, but it's full of corrosion down in there, and that one came out just clean as you please, but you can see all the corrosion on there. But I got it cleaned out of all of them. Then you just take that and drop it down in there, and then put your springy doodad on there, and then mash that all the way down to where it's all the way down flush with that, and put it in the cylinder or over the spark plug and fasten it down. But 2 or 3 of these coils I'm going to have to replace, because of that corrosion has eaten those splines. It's a plastic spline, and all it does is hold that, I don't know what you, it's not an insulator. I don't really know what it is, but it's got something to do with continuity, because it would be like that down inside there, and without that, obviously the current goes through it. But I don't know. There wasn't any videos on here about that. So now there is one, and you know what's going on. But if you got the corrosion in there, it's probably a pretty safe bet to go ahead and just replace the coil. This guy, he's spending a bunch of money because it's got 16 spark plugs, you know, for crying out loud. $10 a whack, that's $160 just for plugs. But anyway, that's what that is, fellas. You see that little piece, you know what it is, and you probably ought to replace it. Like I say, that one come right out, no coercion, just turned it upside down, kind of hit it once, and it fell right out, and stuck the new one in there, and it one's going back in the truck. Anyway, thanks for watching. Share, like, and subscribe.